Hello guys, welcome back to Happy Knits and Crochet Collection, and today we are going to be crocheting this top. So I'm going to show you how I made this top, from beginning to the end. So this is the front part of my top and this is the back part of the top. So guys, I made the crochet top from here, from the ribbing part. So this is the ribbing part of the crochet, and I made it till like I had obtained the certain length that had to go around my just below my boobs, my bust size. So just measure yourself just slightly below the boobs and know how much that you need to go around, how many inches. And then I crocheted the body part using, so here I was using single crochet on the back loop. Then on this top, in this part, I used half double crochets, not half double crochet, sorry. I was using the double crochet stitches, and as you look closely, this was the point that I was this is the point that I was joining. Good enough, it is kindly slightly invisible. So from this part that I was adding, so I was just adding a stitch in each and every side so that I can enlarge the size and be able to fit on the bust size, because this part cannot be the same as this. And then this is the top part, the chest point, where like this the chest point. So I wanted it to be slightly smaller to fit. I didn't want it to be bigger like this bust size. Then these are the straps. So we are going to begin with the part one of the top. So what you need for your top is a yarn. This is my yarn. So this is a chunky yarn, not a chunky yarn, a medium weight yarn. It is from Winter King for play, so I find it easier to use. I don't like using the chunky yarn. It is bigger, and I just need a smaller size. So we are going to be using a 4mm hook. So this is my 4mm hook. Then a pair of scissors, stitch markers, darning needle, and tape measure. So you're going to be making a slip knot to start the project. So using a slip knot, insert the hook, then adjust the knot to the hook size, then make, okay, I didn't want my ribbon to be so big, so I just did a little part. So these are 9 stitches that I used. So if you need it to be a little bit longer than this one, if you want to be like this size, or like just a little bit than this one, you're just going to be putting more chain stitches when you're starting. So you're going to be starting with 9, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 9. So I have my 9 chain stitches. So I'm going to be turning my work, and I'm working on the back part of the chain stitches. So skipping the first chain stitch, you're going to be starting with the second one. So on this part, you're going to be using single crochets. So we're going to be making single crochets on each and every chain stitch. So we will be having a total of 8 single crochet by the end. Make sure you don't skip any chain stitch. So we are at the end, and this is the sides of the single crochets that we made. So we are going to be making a chain 1 stitch and then turn your work around, and here you can see you have like literally 2 loops on the top part. So to make our ribbing, as we said earlier on the last video, that you need to be working on the back loop of the of the previous row. So this is the second row. So you're going to be working on the back loop, single crochets till the end. So we need the ribbing. We are getting to the end and we have 1 stitch remaining. So if you want your work to be neat at the bottom part, what you need to do is just make a normal single crochet when you get to the end. So you're just going to be going through both the 2 loops, the front and the back loop. So you're going to be crocheting through the 2 whenever you get to the ends. This to get straight and neat edges. So chain your work and turn around. Repeat row 2 till the end. So that is making single crochets on the back loop. So this is row 3 and we are repeating row 2. Only row 2 is the one that we are repeating. So we are coming to the other end, and as you said is that you're going to be making a normal single crochet at the end. As you see, we are already getting like a neat, there are no loops, it's neat edges on both sides. So chain 1 and you turn your work around, repeat row 2. So keep doing that, doing single crochets on the back loops till you get the length that you need to be working on. Do a normal single crochet at the end. Then whenever you're going to start a next row, chain 1, turn your work around and start working again, repeating the single crochets. So let's work and meet at the end where we will have attained the length that we need. Here I have the length that I need, so I'm not going to make the whole length. I just need a small length that I'm going to be working through and showing you step by step on how I made the whole part. So when you need to know the inches that you got, you just put your tape measure along the working part, then stretch it a little bit. So mine is slightly for 13 inches. So you just need to make sure that if you're 28, it goes all along to 28 when you slightly stretch the work. So I'm just needing a little working part to show you each and every step. So when you get to the end of the ribbing part, you need to connect both parts. So this is the end, chain 1, then attach your work like this. So here we have 4 loops at the top, so we need the front loop of this side and the back loop of the other side. So insert a hook on the front loop and the back loop of the other side, then make a slip knot. So to the next one, take the front loop of this edge and then the back loop of the next edge. Just do that for all the stitches. Insert in the front loop, then the back loop. Do that for all the stitches. Just taking the front loop and the back loop of the other side, then go through, then slip stitch. So this the point that where we have attached it, just look like a ribbing. So this the old ribbing. Okay, as I told you that you make sure that you make a normal a single crochet at the end, this to give us this smooth and neat work. Yeah, as you see in both. So we are just going to be turning our work inside out. So we have the right part, this the outside part that is right. So we will be working on the right part. So this is how it looks after attaching the parts. So that's the reason why we had to pick the front loop and the back loop of each side. So we are going to be chaining 2. Then this is in each and every row we are going to be making a half double crochet. So that's just for the foundation round. As here I made a half double crochet round, then I started working with double crochets only. So this is the first row. So in each and every row make a half double crochet. So into the next one, this is another one, then this is another row. So just at the top of it make a half double crochets, on the other row make half double crochets. So just make a half double crochets in each and every row that you made. Make sure that you are able to identify the rows. So for example, this is a row, so at the top of it make a half double crochets, not single. Then this is another row at the top, so just do that, and let's meet at the end. I show you how you're going to be joining the row. So this is just the first row. So at this point I'm getting to the end. I've worked around, so I said make a half double crochets in each and every row of the ribbon. So we are at the end. So when you get at this point, what you're going to do is make a slip knot. at the top of the chain one, the chain 2 stitch, just insert a hook and then make a slip knot through. So we have attached our work. So this is the foundation, the part that we have. This part is this. So this is the first round that we have worked on. So I'm going to be working on the other part, and as I said, like, you really do, it is just going increasing. So you can't, I didn't increase at these parts, I was increasing at the back part. So this point that I have joined, so I'll ensure that I have one double crochet here and at the end part of it. So I've increased 2 double crochet in each and every row. So we're going to be doing that until we have the perfect size. So I'm going to be chaining 2, then make double crochet round in each and every stitch. So this part will be little faster since we have already established our stitches. So we're going to be making double crochets till we get to the end. So here we are coming to the end of the second row. We are making our half double crochets. So when you get to this point, as I said, like, you make the chain, then make sure you crochet on the first loop, the first stitch, then insert on the same a half double crochet on the same chain 2 stitch. So on the top of the chain 2 stitch, you're going to go through and make a slip knot. So we have increased 2 double crochets at the beginning and end. So chain 2 again. On this chain 2, at the bottom of it, make a half double crochets, making the first increasement at the beginning, then repeat row 2 till you get to the end. So this is basically what we are going to be doing till you attain the height that you need. So you just measure from your chest part, like just take up your tape measure from your chest part to the bottom part where you want your top to be. So this one was 8.5 inches. So if you need it longer, just extend this part, do it more, though you're just going to first make the increasement. Then when you get the increasement, like I said, this one was 32. When you increase it, like, you just get first the bust size, then you can continue without the increasement. So let's continue. You're just going to be repeating row 2 till you get the height that you require for your top, for the bust size to enlarge. So guys, I decided to do a couple of rows. So these are some rows, like there are 5 rows I've been making with an increasement. So we are coming to the end of the 5th row. So when we get to the end, don't forget to make a little increasement just down there, just next to the chain 2 stitch. Then on the top of the chain 2 stitch, make a slip stitch to so that you can join the row. So let's assume this my row I've done increasing. So as you look it's just going upward, increasing by row. So this the part that I'm in. You can just look at this point, just somewhere. So I'm going to show you. Okay, at this point I only made 10 chains of increasement. That was from here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. To this point I was going increasing up to this point. So I'm going to show you how I reduced, like, okay, I didn't reduce but I maintained those stitches without increasing. So make a chain 2 stitch and then make a double crochet at this point. Okay, I did a double crochet next to the chain stitch to avoid the gapping. So I just wanted my work to be knit round with no gaps. So but the only point that I would not increase at the end, at this point I will not make like a double crochet. I'll be getting to this point, so I want to be making increasement at the end. So I'm going to be making double crochets round for the next 2 stitches, the 2 rows. So we'll be having a total of 7 rows in this small project. I actually think I'll look for a toy to be putting on these clothes. So I don't know, they're too small, no one can fit here, but just is a sample of how I made my work. So go making double crochets round. So guys, I made row 6 already. So this row 7. So row 6 I didn't make any increasement. So this row 7, and I'm going to show you how exactly it looks without making an increasement. God, my hook just, I don't know what happened with my hook. I'll have to find something to do with it. I'm tired of it just getting out whenever it wants. Yeah. Okay, so we are here at row 7. So I'm getting to the end. So I said you're just not going to make any increasement. So normally we would have made a double crochet at this point, but we're not going to make it. So we're going to go direct to the top of the chain 2 stitch and then slip stitch. So this out looks like, just yeah. So we just started here, we made our increasement. Just look carefully. It made an increasement, then I didn't make any increasement at these two last rows, so you can just see it getting together, just reducing by size more than this point. So assuming that this is the length that we need, so I'm going to show you part 3. Okay, this was part 1, part 2, part 3 of how we're going to be making this ribbing part on the top of our top. So that the ribbing part at the chest point, it's our part 3. So just after you make the slip knot, change the number of how long do you need your ribbing to be. So I just wanted a 4 ribbing, like just 4 stitches of ribbing. So we are going to be chaining 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then on the back part, skipping the very first chain stitch, we're going to be working on the second one. So we will be having, and at this point we'll be working with single crochets. So we will be having 4 single crochet by the end. So after you get to the end, you have 4. Just you are going to insert your hook to the next I'll show you guys. So we just started, where was it? Just here. So after you make your single crochets back to this point, we are going to insert our hook to the next stitches, then make a slip knot, then into the next one make another slip knot. So we have made single slip knot to the next 2 stitches. So turn your work around, skip the 2 slip knots, then to our double crochets work to our single crochets work other single crochets on the back loop. So we are making our ribbing, and as I said, when you're making a ribbing at the top, make sure you make you do a normal single crochets. So turning your work, make single crochets on the back loop till you get to the end. So ensure that you don't confuse with the slip knots, stitches and crochet on them. So we have 4 single crochets, we are done with them. So insert your hook and make a slip knot on that stitch, then into the next stitch make another slip stitch, then turn your work around, skip the very first 1, 2. These are the slip stitches that you made in the 2 stitches, then work your single crochets on the back loop of the previous single crochet. So this gives us the ribbon that we need at the top part. We will be repeating that row till we get to the end, just making our 4 single crochets on the top of each stitch. So after the 4 slip stitches, single crochets on the back loop, we are going to insert a hook on that point. So here is the ribbon that we are creating, this one. So insert your hook on the first slip, the stitch, then into the next one, make another slip stitch, then turn your work around. Just make single crochets in each and every back loop of the previous single crochets, and at the end make a normal single crochet. So repeat that, just making the slip stitches. So I just want to show you how you attach. So these are the 4 stitches that are head. So into this stitch, just let me adjust, into this stitch make a slip stitch, and then into the next one make a slip. So this slip stitch that I've made is for the row that we're going to be working on the upward. So that's how we do it. I said we should make a normal single crochet at the end, then chain 1, turn your work, make single crochets, and then at this point so that's what you're doing. You're already making the ribbon at this point. This is a good ribbon. So we're going to be doing that till the end, and I'm going to meet you at the end so that we can join the ends. So guys, I'm at the almost at the end of my ribbon section. So we said just crochet slip stitches to the next 2, and then turn and work around, work single crochets back to the top, and at the end make a normal single crochet. That means you go through the 2 loops, not the back loop only. So let's work back and make sure that the slip stitches don't confuse you. So slip stitch into this, so here we have all our stitches worked on. So turn your work inside. Also we need to attach the ribbon part. So we are going to attach it as we did on the first ribbon. So here we have this part. So we're going to be using the front loop, the front loop and the back loop of the other part, then slip stitch through, insert in the front loop and in the back loop of the other one, then go through in the front loop of this first and the back loop, then go through, insert again in the front and the back loop of the other, then go through the two, then chain one, and using a pair of scissors cut the end. So here we have our point. So this is what we have, just exactly as this one. So this is the point that we attached the lower ribbing and the upper ribbing. So this is the top that we have. So I'm going to show you. So these are the straps that we have. They are separately independent from each other, so you just have to tie when you put on it. Just you can adjust it. So I'm going to show you how you do that. So make sure that this line at the back, it's just at the center of the back, so you have your top well matched. So attach it on your body and know where you're going to put the straps. So let's say this is the point that you're going to do the straps. So mark using the stitch marker. So that's where we are going to use the stitch markers, and on the other part do the same. So you are going to be working on one side, this side. So I'm going to show you. So make a slip knot, then insert your hook, then chain. Okay, you are going to be chaining. So I just wanted straps that are 16 inches, but since I'm doing halfway, so I need just a strap. Okay, you can just make a strap that you need 8 inches. You can make a strap of 10 inches, just as long as you want. So I'm just going to show you an example. So this one, I made a strap from 41 stitches that I made. So I'm going to make 15 stitches from this one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So turning my work around, I'm going to be making I'm going to making double crochet on the second stitch from the end. So we will be working with double crochets. So I just wanted it broad. You can make a stain as you want by using slip stitches. You can use a half double crochet or a single crochet. So I just wanted I don't think the first one came out nicely, so I'm going to be repeating. So make a half double crochets in each and every stitch back. So at the end you should have 14. So this is just an example. Just make like I used 40 in my actual top, so you can use even 51. Okay, the reason why I use old number is just because I'm literally going to be skipping that first stitch. So I'm left with, if it's 15, I'm left with 14 stitches. So make your double crochets back, there'll be 14 at the end. So that's how I made my straps. So in the hand, you're going to be making slip stitch in the next row so that it can fit in. So in the next 2 rows, so this is the first row that you worked on, so this is the second one, the first one and the second. So you're going to be skipping 1 row in between and making the next one. So make a slip stitch, then another slip stitch, and cut your work. So that's how you attach your first strap. So on the back side, we're going to be attaching our next strap of that side, and we're just repeating the same thing. So make 15 chain stitches, 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. So turn your work around, and then we are working double crochets in each and every stitch from the second one. So this is what we do. Okay, this is what I did in my top, the crochet top that I made. We are at the end. So we are just going to skip the first row and into the second row. We're going to make our slip stitch there, and then chain 1 and cut the end. So you will be doing the same thing on the other side. So I'm going just to show you how the part that you'll be doing. You'll be adding the strap of the other side. So you're turning your work inside. So we need to weave in our work. So using our darning needle, so this is how it works. Then just to weave in your crochet, the extra parts, just to make sure it's well so that it doesn't have to be seen or just get out. So on the other part, you just insert the extra yarn on the darning needle, then you seam it into the crochet. So just ensure that it is secured. We can also make a knot from it, then cut. Also the other one, you're going to be doing the same. Weave in your extra yarn just to make your work neat and safe. Okay, this is the inside part. Make sure you're doing it on the inside part. Weave in the parts. So that's how we do. And then after weaving, just cut the extra yarn. So thanks a lot guys for watching the video. I'm so happy that you clicked and watched the video. If you are new here, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Be part of the Happy Knits and Crochet collection. Thanks for my returning subscribers. You guys are showing a lot of love. Keep sharing and bringing in new members. So I really appreciate having new family members in my YouTube channel, and I was thinking of always giving them a shout out to my new subscribers. So if you are a new subscriber, just please subscribe, leave a comment on a new subscriber, and then I will give you a shout out at my community tab. So yeah, this is just an example of what I did here. So when you're putting on your top, you can just make like you just tie and adjust it. So thank you and keep watching.